Baba, you are not from South Africa.
It has been a slogan, being used by everyone in the world that South Africans are xenophobia. Each time they try to defend their nation, people will attack them using that word, xenophobia. And then, again, they will always use the word lazy people. Part of my assignment is to dedicate my time into changing that narrative because it is not true. In short, South Africa are one of the most hardworking people on earth. Now, let me not even use the word hardworking. South Africans might not be hard workers, but smart workers. Now, just because a particular sort of people will not accept cheap labor like the other people in Africa will do. Nigeria, Zimbabwe, and other part of African countries, when they go overseas, no matter how cheap that job is, we will accept it because of the poverty mentality that we are bringing from our country. But unfortunately, South Africans are this set of Africans, that reason like white European people, they will not accept chicken fee. They will not accept cheap labor. Even if they are hungry, it's a culture in their country. They are this set of people that will always enforce their right. They understand what the word right is. They will always enforce. Now, that does not mean that they are lazy people. That they choose what kind of job they will do and what kind of job they will not do does not make them lazy people. And then what do you call hard workers? People that sell drugs? People that get involved in all kinds of criminal activities? Is that what you call hard worker? People that will stay awake throughout the night on laptops, scamming people, is that what you call hardworking? So what is your own definition of hardworking? And your own definition of people that are lazy? Let us change that mentality. I work in the hospitality industry, and 85% of the staff are South African citizens. You see them waiters, and they work in the maintenance team, waiters, and all that. You see the way these people work. You see the way South African work. They will work long hours. You see the way they move. I have been with these people for 18 years. The way they work. If they are not hard worker, why will most of this UAE country employing them? They are working in hospitality industry all over the world, in cruise ships. If they are not hard worker, they won't be employed in those countries. So if you don't, you guys, you think you know South Africans. You don't know South Africa. Even me, I thought I know South Africans until I started my movement. I realized that I only know little about South Africa. We don't know South Africans. Let's stop talking nonsense about South Africans. They are hard worker. So just because they will not accept garbage does not make them lazy. Just because they will not allow you to exploit them does not make them. Just because you will allow people to exploit you, do cheap labor, does not make you hard worker. It makes us stupid. That's the truth.
Let's talk about something that is happening currently in South Africa. It's not that crazy of an idea that the citizens of a country would expect to be prioritized over everyone else. And it's not xenophobic to expect and want and demand that kind of prioritization. Number one. You cannot be a blessing to society without starting at home. Charity begins at home. Before you can make an impact to the world, you have to start at home. So if your mom comes back home with groceries and then she uses those groceries to go give out to the homeless people who are underprivileged. Meanwhile, at home, she left you guys starving. What would you do? You would be pissed because you can't be my mother. You prioritize kids outside, but inside our household, we don't have any food. When I open the fridge, there's nothing. We are hungry. But when you want to be Mother Teresa to the world, it doesn't make any sense. So of course you're going to demand that before she goes out and makes school lunches for homeless kids, she must make sure that her own kids are fed. Anyone who will disagree with this logic is lying. You are being intellectually dishonest. You are lying. You are being obtuse. You will never tell me that you would expect your mom to feed the world. But meanwhile, at home, you don't have food. You'll be pissed. She buys a neighbor an iPhone and she doesn't buy you. The first thing you'll be like, Aibo, I'm your child. Take care of me first. Before you are comfortable to go out and make an impact to the world, start with me, number one. So it's not that crazy of an idea that South Africans would expect to be prioritized over everyone else. It's my country. Born and raised here, pay taxes here. You know what I mean? So I do expect to be prioritized over everyone else. Number two, I saw a lot of comments from all these foreign nationals when they were protesting. They were like, Africa is for everyone. Africa is for everyone who belongs here. In an ideal world, in an ideal situation where Africa as a continent is pulling its weight, then yes. The only reason why Europe is succeeding is because everyone in Europe is pulling their weight. That's why they can have the European Union, because every country in the Union is trying to pull their weight. So it's easy for everyone to participate because everyone is pulling their weight. Unfortunately, South Africa cannot absorb all the countries. Most countries in Africa are failed states. There's a lot of corruption and there's a lot of totalitarian regimes. You understand that right now in Uganda, we have a president who doesn't want to step down. He's been there for 40 years. Right now, Nigeria, the Nigerian president is ruling in the UK. He's the president of Nigeria, but he stays in the UK. You understand? Instead of asking for change from your president, trying to reform your country, you can't say Africa's for everyone. It only benefits those who are coming from failed states, and it's unfortunate. And I can empathize when you are trying to get a better life and your government is failing you, and the only alternative that you can think of is to run to another country. I can empathize with people who are doing that. And I'm not opposed to South Africa trying its utmost best to help those who need help. You know what I'm saying? I'm not opposed to that. But you can't say to me, because Africa's for everyone, but that only works if every other African country is pulling their weight. Then we can have an African Union. But when it's one country, we cannot absorb all these other countries, unfortunately. Already, we don't have enough resources for the people in the country. So it's not realistic to think that South Africa would absorb every other country because Africa is for everyone in it. It doesn't make any sense. And another point I want to talk about is, if you've ever been around Nigerians or Zimbabweans, just foreign nationals in general, you should listen to the way they talk about us, South Africans. They don't like us. You understand that they despise us, which is ironic because you despise me, but you want the services that you are going to get from the same people that you despise. You want the free education, you want the free access to the healthcare, but you hate the people who are providing it to you. That throws me off through a roof. If you've ever interacted with foreign nationals, the majority of them, they despise black South Africans. They don't like us. Like, they genuinely don't like us. They don't like us. But they want to get the free healthcare from the same people that they don't like. I'm sure if you are a student who went to university and you had maybe a foreign lecturer, Zimbabwean, Nigerian, I'm sure you went through it because I know they don't like us. You know what I mean? I've listened in on multiple conversations from foreign nationals like, yo, that was fool. I don't know, is it because they want South Africa to also be a failed state so they can like, I told you? I don't know. I don't know what's the dynamic there, but I do know with a majority of them, they don't like us. They don't like South Africans, particularly black South Africans. So it's very ironic when you are saying, hi, it's my school. It's South Africa, Africa's for everyone who lives in it. But you are crying in the country with the people you don't even like. You don't even like us. And I genuinely empathize with what's happening in other African countries. I genuinely do. Like, I do, because I understand how when the system is failing you, the only other thing you want to do is to leave. You understand? You want to get a better place. You want to move out. So I understand why they would migrate here. I do. And I genuinely empathize with it. And if South Africa can absorb as many asylum seekers, I am all for that. But you cannot expect South Africa to hold Africa like this. It's just impossible. And to say it's xenophobic to expect the citizens of the country who want to be prioritized, it makes sense. Now where you would want to, I would never travel to any country outside of South Africa and expect them to bend over for me. If I'm gonna cry, I have to go cry to my country. That's the reality of the situation. I have to go cry to my country. You understand? Before they do anything for me, I would expect them to take care of their own citizens. And I saw a Zimbabwean guy say, but guys, it's their country. It makes sense why they would want to be prioritized. Which, you know what I mean? Like, it's the most, like, it's not xenophobic to say that. It makes sense. You were gonna cry to your mom. Before you cry to your neighbor, you're gonna cry to your mom. So of course, South Africans are gonna expect to be prioritized. But another thing, a very important part is, it's not lost on me, the fact that we find ourselves in these situations because of South Africans. We have to talk about this. South Africa is where it is now with what's happening. It's because of South Africans are corrupt. We sell our identities. You understand that there's people in Home Affairs who are selling IDs. There's people who are in the education districts. They are selling sports. So yes, South Africans expect to be prioritized, but at the same time, it's South Africans who are turning South Africa into a failed state. And that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that we are crying about foreign nationals, illegal foreign nationals, but South Africans are making it possible. You know what I mean? They are selling these sports in all these schools. There's a South African right now who's chilling with a 7,000 rand or 10,000 rand, and they sold the sport to a school. You see, so we also have to hold ourselves accountable that South Africans are running South Africa to the ground. Guys, we are the problem. So before it's a row, let's look inwards as well. What are we doing? Our corruption and our obsession with fast money. It's the reason why we find ourselves here. South Africans love fast money and they will sell you out. And we have to be honest about this point as well. South Africans are the reasons why we are heading towards a failed state nathi. Ngoba everything is ungovernable because sithanda imali, sithenga some ID, sithenga some sports. There's no way you can buy anything in South Africa. So nathi mele sisihold accountable because we are putting ourselves in these situations. My 2 cents.